She said I was the fallback guy. I left her on read, then sent the text to her new boyfriend. My name's Brooklyn, I'm 26 years old, and I swear I still can't believe how shit got so sideways. It started like any other Wednesday. I was up at 5:40 am, cat-like with my alarm buzzing on my phone. Slid out the bunk bed in my one-bedroom apartment on Roosevelt Avenue, where me and my two roommates been splitting rent since I dropped out of community college last year. I had my old school boots propped by the door, and I was finna head to the gas station where I stock shelves before heading over to the Waffle House later for side hustling on late shifts. Bills been stacking up, utilities cut me off twice in the past month, and my car note almost hit late. Everyday grind, you feel me? I ain't got no trust fund or family money. My pops bounced to Georgia years back, my mama working 2 jobs cause she got heart problems. I'm holding shit down out here on my own, and I'm proud of that, no cap. So I was walking down the street, cold air bit in my face, and I see my cousin Marcus perched outside the corner store, same one where everybody in the hood gather. He's sipping on some coffee, talking with Mr. Jenkins, the old dude who always there watching the block. I waved. Marcus ain't no blood relation, but he the cousin I grew up with, like a brother. He told me they got some new green on the streets, some folks movin' weight by the church at night. I ain't messin' with that, but you know how it go. Word travels fast through the block. I nodded at Marcus, said, "Bet, keep me posted." I slid into the store for my usual, 2 plastic bottles of water, a pack of Newports, and a Snickers. Mr. Jenkins gave me that look, like he know my mama worryin' about me. I just smiled and said, "I'm good, Poppy." He nodded, eyes drifted over my cheap jacket, my gas station uniform under my arm. It fit like a second skin, dark green polo, black slacks, name tag pinned crooked. That job paying minimum, but I kept it because I needed health insurance. Roof over my head, I can't be choosy. On my way back, I messaged Anisha. "I'll slide through after shift. You good?" We been talking on and off, sometimes more than friends, sometimes nothin'. It ain't official, she never put no label. But I cared for her. We met 3 months ago at that pop-up block party by the playground. She was all laughs in that bright yellow hoodie, yellin' at the DJ to play No Scrubs. Her curly hair was tied up high, and them hoop earrings swung heavy when she moved. I stepped up, said, "You got good taste." And she looked at me like I was wild. We started kicking it since. She worked customer service at that cell phone store by the mall. I weighed whether to get that iPhone she always glamorized. She had this laugh that shook up the block. I ain't never heard nothin' like it, pure winchy music. That morning my phone buzzed, I thought it was her. Instead, it was her new Instagram story, her and some dude posted under neon lights in a coffee shop. The dude looked tall as fuck, buzz cut, gold chain. I ain't never heard of him. The caption said, "Me and Bae." I felt that stutterin' in my chest, like my own heart calling me a clown. I peeped her last post, some vanilla caption bout new beginnings. Then no Brooklyn tag, no little heart emojis. I leaned back against the doorpost, took a deep breath, and tapped my screen like a junkie craving that next hit. I typed, who's he?" and stopped. I didn't send it. I couldn't even bring myself. That morning felt heavy like someone packed buckshot in my chest. At the gas station, I was on autopilot. Stocking cans of Red Bull, straightening potato chips. My mind ricocheted back to last week when she was logging on my couch, my speakers bumping Lil Wayne. We ate pork chops after I scored some taxicab scraps from my side hustle, nothing fancy, but we cooked it down with collard greens. I remember she said, "You my best friend," and kissed my cheek gentle, played with my curls. That was Thursday. Now on Wednesday I scroll through her Snapchat and I don't see my face nowhere. By noon I tried to call her. No answer. Then text, "Girl, you good?" Nothing. I started sweating, looked at the clock like it was the scoreboard on the fight ring. I legit thought maybe her phone died. But my gut told me different. I clocked out at 2 p.m., came home to change for my shift at Waffle House. As I pulled on my black pants and white tee, my phone buzzed. It was her texting. "You was always my fallback, you ain't never shit." That shit came like a slap across the ear. My head snapped to the wall. I read it 3 times, blinked slow, wondered if I'd gone blind. Fallback. The fallback guy. I froze. My stomach roiled. I dropped the phone on my bed, paste and socks on the cold floor. I muttered under my breath. "Who calls somebody fallback? What the hell am I to you?" I felt a flush of rage I ain't felt since, actually, ain't felt this much rage in a minute. My chest tight, sweat beading on my forehead. I scrolled up, found all our old trash-talking texts, her calling me. Ply a dog. Be calling her Shorty. Sometimes it was just jokes. Then real talk, we talked money, talked fam, talked dreams. I saw the morning after she left my place. I dropped her off at the bus stop. She hugged me tight, whispered she appreciated me. I saw her ring finger, no promise ring. I thought we were good. Guess she was just stalling till something better came. The truth scales crashed on me. I was just that random backup. My phone slipped out my hand when I realized. Head snapped. I almost dropped my pot of scrambled eggs on the grill when I walked in at Waffle House because I was zoned out. I was cooking flats, butter sizzling, the ticket orders piling. Randy, my coworker, asks, "Yo, you straight?" I was nodding, but my head felt numb. I fumbled the eggs, almost burned the grill. He patted my back and whispered, "Chill, you look zoned." I told him, "Man, I'll be good." My eyes watering. I closed them for a second before turning up the burner, slid more eggs on the steel. I kept mumbling her text, "Fallback, fallback." The Waffle House diner was lit up, neon buzz, smoke smell from the grill. People talking in low voices. I pretended to smile at customers. Made pancakes flips, kept quiet. I couldn't let anyone see me crack. During my break, I locked in the walk-in cooler door. Cold air hit me like ice. I backed up till I could lean against them shells. I pulled out my phone, tried to call her back. She didn't pick. I typed, "Are you serious right now? Why you do me like that?" Nothing. I thought I seen her snap at that club last month where she was all over that rich cat with a face tattoo. He smelled like Hennessy and cologne, throwing 20s like confetti. I blinked, thought maybe I was paranoid. But now that fallback line, she don't even got me on a pedestal. She treated me like trash. I pushed off them shelves. Cold sweat drip in. I went back to work, forced smiles forced. "How you doin's?" Till my shift ended at 10 p.m. I clocked out, grabbed my keys, and pulled on my jacket. On my way out, I asked my manager for my check early. She raised an eyebrow. I said, "I need it now." And she gave me this side eye. But she took one look at me, saw my bloodshot eyes, and handed it. I scooped my $25 and dipped. Outside, the block was lit by street lamps, smell of grease from the Chinese takeout 2 blocks down. I popped a Red Bull I bought at a 24/7 store, hopped in my Fox body Mustang my pops traded to me cheap. That car barely made it, rattled like it got a baby rattle inside. But it was mine. I pulled away from the curb, tires squeaking, and headed straight to her crib in Elmwood Gardens. That's where those projects meet the old housing units. The place where 6 families live on a walk 3 flights up. She stayed in 3B with her aunt. I parked on the block, engine ticking from heat. I peeped movement upstairs. I could see her silhouette in that window. She was on the phone with someone, pacing back and forth. My throat was thick. I took another hit off that Red Bull, heart racing. I walked up the crackled steps, bags under my eyes. The hallway smelled like Auntie Elvie's cooking, oxtails and collard greens always stewing, peppery, hot. I knocked on her door. No answer. I rapped harder. My phone buzzed. It was a text from her. "Don't come here." My shoulders dropped. I punched the door, more anger flowing through me than I thought possible. The door cracked open. Her auntie, Miss Elvie, peered out, hair in rollers, eyeing me like I was probation. "Brooklyn? You got stuntin' today, chilly?" she said. Her voice was rough but caring. I cleared my throat. "Is Ty in?" I asked. She shook her head. "Went out with Marcus. Said she ain't messin' with you no more. I mean to move out next week." My knees almost buckled. Move out. She was about to cut me off completely. I nodded, whispered, "Okay," and turned away before I could say something stupid. That night I sat in my car, the engine still warm, thinking. I remember all the times she was at my corner store doing her makeup in the reflection of the glass, the times we shared McDonald's fries late at night, the times she leaned on my shoulder while we watched cartoons. All that shit just felt fake now. I knew I had to do something. My phone lit up with notifications, Instagram comments under her photos. I saw Marcus comment, "You the best," then a heart emoji. That broke me open. I pressed my fingers to my head. I texted him, "Yo, you know her? Did she tell you I was the fallback?" and hit send. He read it and didn't reply. That irritation bubbled inside me. Fuck him. I opened my phone, scrolled through a bunch of old texts, screenshots, and found where she called me, play buddy, and said she never really took me seriously. I tapped on the share button and sent all those to Marcus. Drove off before his reply came, engine roared louder than my heart. I pulled back up to my apartment on Roosevelt, got out. When I stepped in, my roommates, Keisha and Jada, was couch surfing episodes of that Netflix show. They jumped up. "You good?" I looked ragged. They peeped the tears in my eyes. Jada wrapped me in a hug. "Girl, tell us." I shook my head, walked past them to my room. Locked the door. I sat on my bed and stared at the ceiling fan spinning slow. My phone buzzed. It was a screenshot of my text to Marcus, forwarded back by her new boyfriend, with a caption. "Is this you?" I saw her name at the top. Tanisha. My chest pitched forward. I felt like I was in freefall and there was no net under me. I held the phone shaking, silent tears running down, but not because I felt bad. I felt twisted. I was mad at her for calling me fallback. But seeing those screenshots on my phone made me feel bad because I knew I fucked up. Still didn't stop me from smirking. I said to myself, "She ain't gonna play with me no more. Deadass." Then I thought, but I'm the one in shambles right now. Next morning, I woke up to a mile of texts from Tanisha, Jada, and Keisha blowing up my notifications. "You crazy? Why you do that? She don't want your drama." I slammed my phone down, covered my head, and shouted, "Fuck all y'all!" My voice echoed. I felt heavy. My head throbbed. I finally peeked at them. Tanisha's text said, "Brooklyn, I told you I'd been with Marcus since last month. You wanna disrespect me? Now he know everything, thanks to you." Boom. She sent me a voicemail where she was crying, whispering, "I can't believe you." I let my eyes close tight, but the ringing of her cries kept me up. I paced my room, pulling at my hair, my insides burning. I opened up Instagram, her face on my feed, smiling in some couple photo. She tagged Marcus's account. "My forever love." My anger spiked, but that emptiness was worst. I felt like a mockery of myself. I needed air. I slipped into my hoodie, crept out. At the corner store, I saw Marcus leaning by the wall. He looked at me like he wanted to fight. "Our families side-eye each other sometimes," he grudgingly said. "Why you send them texts?" I kept quiet. He shoved me. I staggered back, phone sliding out my pocket. It hit the grass. He punched my shoulder. Pain shot through. I nearly dropped my water. He said, "You crazy. You did this on purpose." I said, "She said I was the fallback." He spat. "So what? You ain't her man. You not even her friend now." He stormed off. I touched my shoulder, felt the bruise form, the pain singeing. I gripped water bottle tight. I felt shame. The blood in my head raced. I wanted to call out his name, tell him she played me. But I kept walking to that old bench by the store, where I always get chit-chat with Mr. Jenkins and the cousins. They gave me space. I stared at the concrete, thought about what I did. Part of me felt powerful. Exposing her like that meant I had control. But another part felt hollow, like water draining out the bathtub. I touched my phone screen. Saw my name plastered as villain in their group chat. They called me Bitterbee. I didn't even know what that meant till I saw it. 2 days later, I told them I was fine, but I wasn't. I had to work late again. My boss said she might cut my shifts if I don't straighten my head out. I nodded. At home, I didn't go into the living room. Instead, I lay in bed, headphone in my ear, bumping Chief Keef tracks, trying to drown out my mind. Then I slid open my notes app. I wrote, "She say I was fallback. I ain't no fallback. Girl ain't loyal. I showed her bitch ass." Then I wrote down all the details, times, dates, addresses. My hands shaky. I backtracked my own lies, like I said I was sick Sunday, but I was out with my friends, ordering liquor at the bar. I wrote that I never saw the way she texted Marcus, but I did. Each word cut me deeper. I didn't finish it. I deleted whole paragraphs and started over. I was trying to piece some narrative where I'm the hero, but the hero in this was twisted. That Saturday, I got a call. It was Tanisha's auntie, Miss Elvie, asking me to come by. She said her niece was off work for the weekend. When I arrived, I walked up them concrete steps, heart thumping. I knocked. The door opened, and I saw Tanisha, eyes hollow, face puffy, wearing last night's makeup smudged into her cheeks. She looked fragile, like she might crumble. She whispered, "Brooklyn." I don't know why I stayed. I wanted to run away, but I stood there, coat sticking to my arms. She stepped aside. Inside, her aunt sat on the couch, arms folded. The apartment smelled sweet, pancakes on the skillet, butter melting like calm in the chaos. I said, "Look, Tan, She cut me off. "You ain't gotta say shit. I know why you here." I swallowed. "I just wanted to." She stared at me, tears in her eyes, and said, "You made me look crazy. You made my man think I was a liar. He don't trust me now." I looked down, saw her shaking knee. She was wearing them old pajamas with cartoon cats, socks mismatched. She could have been any girl. I felt a twinge in my chest but swallowed it. I shifted weight from one foot to the other. "I'm sorry you get caught up," I said, keeping voice flat. She looked at me, and anger flickered behind her tears. She spat. "Sorry? You ain't never tell me you was finna expose me. You said you loved me?" That's dumb. I shook my head. "Girl, you said I was fallback. I just showed him the truth." She sat down, shoulders slumped. "You think you set me free? You just made me more trapped." I blinked, feeling my face heat up. I was ready to say more, but Miss Elvie spoke first. "You best leave before things get worse. You did enough." I didn't reply. I turned on my heel and walked out. Stairwell was silent except my breathing. I stopped at the bottom, took a deep breath, and pushed myself out onto the block. I didn't cry. Not because I didn't feel, but because crying felt weak. I never cried in front of people. I grabbed my phone, texted my roommate Jada. "Slide through." She came by 10 minutes later, peeking out the window. I opened the door. She saw my face and said, "Girl, what?" I barely whispered. "I fucked up." That night, I lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling. The ceiling fan spun slow, light flickering like it was trying to keep me awake. I thought about what happened. I thought about the calls, the rumors flying in the neighborhood. Quick it spread. Tanisha's ex played her. Even the kids at the school where my little brother goes was talking about it. My 2 little nieces at my cousin's house asked, "Auntie Brooke, did you do wrong?" Stuff like that made me sick. But in my heart, I still felt a mix, like I was right and wrong at the same time. I felt like I delivered the real to Marcus, but I also felt like I stabbed her in the back. She let me hold her heart, and then she crushed it when she said I was fallback. Monday morning, I had to go work. I pulled on that green polo, black slacks, name tag crooked again. I tried to stand tall, but my shoulders burned with shame. My boss strolled by as I restocked tampons on the shelf. I looked at her and she said, "You good?" I nodded, but I felt like I was faking life. I clocked in, waited on customers. A girl came in, college kid, wide-eyed, asked for a new iPhone. I helped her. She said, "My man bought it for me." I forced a smile. I thought about how Tanisha wanted that iPhone so bad. Then she wound up with Marcus and a brand new phone I didn't buy. Life got weird. People watched me, but I kept it moving. That evening, I went to the park by the playground where me and Tanisha had our first date. I pulled up on my bike. My roommate Jada let me borrow hers. I sat on that park bench that used to feel romantic, remembering her laugh bouncing off the swings. Now it felt empty. I dialed her number. It rung once and went to voicemail. I left a message. "Yo, Tan, I'm sorry. I messed up. I wasn't trying to hurt you that deep. But you did me dirty too." Then I paused. I knew she'd hear that same voicemail forwarded to Marcus. I delete that message before it's sent. I sat back, thinking about my pride refusing me to beg. Those texts to Marcus burned in my pocket like a loaded gun I set off too early. On Wednesday, the neighborhood was buzzing. Miss Elvie saw me and shook her head. She said, "Girl, move on." I said, "I'm tryna." But I wasn't. The corner store gossip was I posted about her on my story, like a cryptic post. "Play with fire, get burned." Everybody saw. That drama shit spread faster than COVID. I walked by the stoop where Grandma Rose was sitting knitting. She looked at me, raised an eyebrow. I nodded. She said nothing, but I saw her lips press together. That silence hit me harder than slaps. 2 weeks in, I was at home one Friday, counting my cash from both jobs, trying to budget. Rent was due next week, and I owed some for old light bill. I realized I needed to hustle smart. I reached out to my boy John at that bar downtown. He said they hiring servers. I could get a few extra bills if I pick up weekend shifts. I said I'll start Monday. Jada was happy. She said, "Brooke, you gotta keep your shit straight." I nodded. But money ain't fix my heart. Later that night, I saw Marcus at the corner store again. This time, we didn't fight. He walked by, gave me a nod like we was strangers. That felt weird. I remembered his face when he looked at me after I sent the texts, confusion, betrayal. I wanted to explain then, but that shit was buried under layers of hurt and anger. Maybe he'd never understand why I did it. I didn't understand fully either. I just knew I couldn't let her step on me. Fast forward to the next month, I was working more at the bar, wearing black slacks, white shirt, serving beers. The neon lights lit the place like a carnival. People hollered at me, "Brooklyn! Order up!" I moved them trays steady. But every time I took their money, I remembered Tanisha's tears. I felt sour like old milk. I started avoiding my cousins, not answering their texts. They asked, "You see her yet?" And I said, "Nope, she keep dodging me." Truth was, I didn't want to see her. It felt too raw. One Tuesday, my phone rang. It was Marcus. My heart jackhammered. I answered, "Yeah?" He said, "Your granny died." I froze. My Granny Rose? She was the one who always kept me in line. Grace smiled at me from that rocking chair, hair silver, hands soft like cinnamon rolls. I dropped the phone and stood there. Tears burned my eyes. Cousin directed me to get to her house. I hopped on that bike, pedaled so hard, wheels screeching. I arrived at her block, crying and choking. They said she passed last night, peaceful while watching Jeopardy. I fell to my knees, screamed, "Granny!" Her body lay in her bedroom, smell of lilac from her perfume. I sat by her bed, held her cold hand, and sobbed. I felt everything collapse, guilt over Tanisha and guilt for not visiting Granny more. I realized I was messing up every corner of my life. At the funeral, folks from the hood lined up, told me. She was proud of you, don't let this break you. That shit cut me deep. I thought about Tanisha, her aunt, even Marcus showing me I had a heart somewhere. After the ceremony, I walked outside, sun looming, heat heavy. I got a text from Tanisha. Everyone asked about you. You showed up for Granny. That's something. I stared at my phone, nodding slow. I typed, I'm sorry. Then I deleted it. I didn't send shit. I didn't want to lie. After that, things changed slow. At the bar, I saw Tanisha once. She was with Marcus, laughing at some dude's dumb joke. She saw me. Her smile faded. I looked away. She came over anyway, Marcus trailing behind. She whispered, Brooke, I'm sorry how things went. I said, It's whatever. I felt tears build, but I forced my face stoic. She tried to hug me. I accidentally bumped her shoulder and she flinched. I said, Watch it, and walked away. Felt cold. Marcus said later he was proud I stayed for Granny. I didn't reply. I felt a crack in my heart, like I wanted to fix things, but pride and rage kept me from it. Months passed. I finished the bar stint, got a bit more cash saved. I moved out of Roosevelt to a smaller place on Lexington, closer to my mama. I helped her pay bills. Life slowed. But every time I passed Elmwood Gardens, I felt that stab of shame and anger. I forgot how her laugh sounded. Garage doors at the apartments slammed, kids yelling, tires screeching. I thought about all the times we smashed takeout on my couch, half drunken on cheap rose. That felt like a dream. I still had her texts saved, the ones where she called me fallback. I read them when I felt lonely. I shook my head and deleted them after, felt a strange relief. One evening in November, it was cold as hell. I was at the corner store on Lexington, grabbing chips and a soda. I saw Tanisha walk up the street. She looked thinner, eyes hollow, no makeup. She passed without even glancing. My chest felt heavy. I said, Tanisha! She didn't stop. I ran after her. She walked faster. I grabbed her arm. She stared at me, frustrated. Why you do that to me? I asked. Her jaw clenched. She whispered, Why you gotta always play hero? You ain't no hero. I dropped her arm, took a step back. She turned away. I watched her walk off, shoulders shaking like she was about to cry. I felt emptier than before. I stood there, coat flapping, tears in my eyes. I whispered, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That paradox felt like prison bars. Back at home, I cried in my shower till water ran cold. I thought about how I blamed her for calling me fallback. But I knew inside that my anger had bigger roots. My fear of being second, fear of being lonely, fear of not matching. I realized I hurt people because my heart was cracked wide open by rejection. But I couldn't say that out loud. It sounded soft, like weakness. So I kept holding on to that anger. Now it's December, lean season, bills bigger than my paycheck. I'm back at the gas station, stocking shelves again. I whisper to myself, build from here. I think about writing a letter to Tanisha, but I trash it before I finish. I think about Marcus. I want to tell him I'm sorry for hurting him too, but I don't want him to feel bad for me. I want him to feel proud that I turned into someone who ain't weak. I hang on to my pride like it's life. I remember Granny telling me at her funeral, Baby, pride will drown you if you don't let it go. But I can't let it go. Not yet. That shit is my armor. So here I sit, by the same window where I used to watch her walk to work in that cell phone store, by the same flicker of neon from that corner store where gossip flew faster than bullets. I'm still angry, I still regret, but I don't regret myself. I traded loyalty for revenge, and got left with this hole in my chest that I don't know how to fill. I don't think I deserve forgiveness, and I don't think I'll ever be the same. I feel like a villain in my own hood story, someone folks talk about, shake their heads at. But it's my story. I lived it. And I'm still standing, still breathing, still trying to outrun the parts of me that got cozy with hate. That's how it went down, no cap? I'm Brooklyn, 26, and I'm still livin' with what I did. I know I fucked up, but I ain't never gonna apologize for how it made me feel, because sometimes, you gotta break things to see how sharp they really are. And yeah, I'm probably a bitch for doing what I did, but I'm built from these streets, from hustlin', from survivin'. I did what I did 'cause I was tired of feelin' like I didn't matter. Now I matter, but at what cost? I'm still trying to figure that out.